the findings showed that we were very complex in our pathways to parole. We found that 9 out of the 12 programs didn't have sufficient enough evidence to say that they worked. We found things like our therapeutic communities, which are, again, sacred cows in Idaho. This is not an indictment on therapeutic communities. It's an indictment on how Idaho was running therapeutic communities, and we weren't doing it right. We would never be where we are today if not for having an outside group come in and objectively take a look at what it is we were doing. And that wasn't only just powerful for us to see it like that, but it was really important for an organization like the Council of State Government to be doing it because they have such a great reputation. So we utilized that reputation to then educate and communicate all of our other stakeholders, the judiciary, the parole commission, about why we needed to change. We knew exactly what they were seeing. We were seeing what they were seeing, and so frankly, none of this was a surprise to us because Bree, Derek, and her team just kept us in the loop the whole way through. This is what I would tell directors, both seasoned directors and new directors: cloak yourself in reform. I honestly believe it's safer for a director to be very transparent about what it is they're doing and to cloak themselves with an element of, look, I want to look at this and I want someone from the outside to look at it. We called a meeting with the media, with several key members of our legislature, key judges across the state, the Idaho Supreme Court, the ACLU, prison advocacy groups, and we had them all in a room, and we showed in a very transparent way, we showed exactly what the findings were, and then we shared what our action plan was going to be. And included in that action plan was the elimination of some, as I mentioned earlier, some pretty significant programs in the state, like therapeutic communities, for instance. We sat before these groups for years and told them that what we were doing was right on, that we were like one of the best in the country. We were telling them that, and because we believed it. It was only until we brought in outside eyes and expertise to take a look at a top-to-bottom review of what we were doing that we actually saw that we weren't one of the best agencies in the country. 9 out of the 12 programs that we had in our system did not have evidence to suggest that they work. We didn't have the data that said that they worked. And those programs are expensive. We were spending about $10 million in the state to deliver those programs, and now we hear and learn that we don't know if they work or not. In 2014, for instance, we did 14,000 inmate moves just within the state of Idaho. So many of those moves took place because an inmate needed a program that wasn't offered in the prison where he or she was at. And so we'd have to move them, in some cases, several hours away from their resources, their family, all of those types of things, just to get that program. Today, we have 5 programs, 5 research-based programs that are in every single one of our prisons. So we don't need to move inmates to go receive a program. It's offered right there.